Hi Aquarius, welcome to your July Tarot Horoscope. So we're just going to be pulling a single card for the month of July to see what is coming up for you. So the first 2/3 of July is Cancer season, and then we will be throwing cards on the floor, rolling into Leo season towards the end of the month, and this is what we have coming up for you this month. Okay, we have the Strength card reversed. So this is the way the card looks the right way up. We have this young kind of maiden, and she's standing here in front of this sort of animal, gargoyle, lion creature there. Above, we have this big kind of bouquet of flowers in this dark kind of clouded space. And the card came out reversed like that. So we're going to see what Strength card is bringing up for you for July. Okay. Strength, the art of loving. This card is all about dealing deliberately with your vital energy and lust of life, the love of all creation. The flowers on the card may be the flowers of love, but could also be Baudelaire's flowers of evil. Dali's signature integrates the swastika, an ancient Indo-Aryan symbol of the sun and of life. The beastly creature on the left resembles a toad at first sight, but under closer scrutiny, the body of a lion becomes apparent along with the teeth of a combat dog. These are all that kind of animal that longs to be released from a curse, like the bewitched prince of many fairy tales. The key to discovering your own strength is a loving and determined handling of your id, libido, instinct, energy. The woman and the animal together evoke the archetypical story of Beauty and the Beast. If the beast is released from its curse, Beauty gains her freedom too. This card is not just about strength, power, and lust, but also stands for the cultivation of your personality, which will enable you to minimize harmful influences on your life and which allows your own creative forces to blossom. If you succeed, you will be able to grow beyond the limitations of your ego, and you will learn where you have to draw the line. Practical advice. Beware of useless ideals and of violence in the name of love. Give your lust for life another chance. Living fully means always being totally in the present. This is the card of the high points and peak experiences in sexuality as well as in all other aspects of life. Okay, so this card, there's kind of a couple different things that come up in this card, but the one that's kind of landing for me right now in this particular season in July is that emphasis of vitality. So strength and vital life forces, which is really from our deepest primal centers as life beings here, far more in our core than our like emotional realms and our intellectual realms and that which we kind of see as hallmarks of being human. Our energy source and our primal vitality is something that we share with all living forces on the planet, and it's not something that's necessarily accessed first through the mind. We can certainly think about it, but it's an experience that is very, very present, and it's tied to, well, it's the most present moment we have is our life force, and is just existing and being. So this card is kind of like trying to remind you that where that strength emanates from. We all have different kind of strengths or superpowers or talents that we can kind of feel that we channel our biggest, it's hard to avoid the word strength in this case, like our biggest skills or gifts through something. And the mental functions, especially for an Aquarius, it's often a very, very strong mind, a very strong rational capacity. And that might feel like where we have our most comfortable kind of way to explore the world. But strength, like our actual vitality as living beings, comes from quite a bit deeper and comes from a place that our mind just sits over top of and can't quite get into. So this card is kind of trying to pull you down into that vital center and into that kind of primal, kind of beastly state of these animals that are reminding us that we have a life force that is existent beyond and above our rationality and the other things that kind of lay over top. So we certainly don't want that to necessarily take over and be driving us and controlling us like a rabid animal. We want to be able to integrate that vital primal kind of life force with our higher faculties of our mind and our rationality and our cognition. But we also don't want to suppress it so much that we've caged it and we've lost a big part of our strength and a big part of our vitality, which is just tapping into the energy source of life. That's it, small order. Is trying to tap into that vital primal force, and then you can bring that strength up through your rational centers, or up through your emotional body, or up through the things that you now, on top of that, with your mind that makes more kind of cognitive choices, can guide that strength into something that feels valuable to you. But you don't want to castrate it, and then you only have half of that force and strength available for you to apply to what it is that you want to accomplish and what your dreams are. So we're kind of needing this sort of balance, and that whole story kind of Beauty and the Beast there is that they're kind of like that. If beauty in this context is more of that kind of rational and kind of contained energy of this beast that's either kind of impotent and locked away, or ravenous and rabid and destructive, there's this then balance of the concept of taming the beast, which is not to defang it. Taming the beast is to have it feel safe and confident in its strength and vitality, and loved for what it is, loved for its beastliness, loved for its primal energy that is not rational, and accepted for what it is. And then that beast can transform into a vital powerhouse that isn't just something to be feared or locked away. So in yourself, you also have that force that can tend to rabidity or being locked away, or it can be this very strong kind of energy source for you for life. And how are you going to tango with that? How are you going to apply the love and acceptance that isn't naive, that's not, a kid running and sticking his head in the lion's mouth that's about to get kind of bit off, but respecting the power that our primal energy sources have, respecting it and not toying with it, but also being confident in its presence, to trust that you can build relationship with that force and not be something that you need to repress with your intellect or hide away from other people, or if you have outbursts, feel ashamed of it. It's something that is to be integrated and utilized and loved and incorporated into your whole existence as a living, vital being. So that's kind of where this card is kind of poking at. It's a major arcana card, which means this is kind of larger life themes, and also likely kind of longer patterns that aren't necessarily just for this month. So we're offered an opportunity to hone in on it for July, but it's not like you're going to wrap a bow on it and not have to deal with this after. This is a great season for it, though, because we've got, like, working with the Beauty and the Beast archetype. The July is Cancer season and then Leo season. And so Cancer has this feminine, mothering, nurturing, loving, tender energy to it, which sort of evokes that beauty of bringing in love and acceptance for the beast. And then Leo season, Leo's the lion. Leo is this expressive, vital energy source that it's expansive and radiating out and shining on others. And so we've kind of got like this first half of this Beauty in Cancer season and this Beast in Leo season, and we're trying to integrate them all in a way that is honoring to the characteristics of both, not trying to like dumb down or like tame in a way that takes away their essence as being a wild primal being, but learn how to kind of live with and manage those energies together. So this first part of July is really feeling into softness and and unconditional love as the Cancer mother archetype. A healthy Cancer archetype is unconditionally loving of their infant or of their new idea or their little self, little baby lion cub inside of you, and bringing that love where that being has the comfort and the safety to say, oh, okay, I'm not actually just fighting for my life here. People do care about me. I don't have to act out and try to gain attention or cower and be afraid. I have the space and the safety and the comfort to be who I am. And then Leo season, end of the month, comes around, and now there's this confidence of knowing that you are loved unconditionally, knowing that all parts of you, even the ones that seem uncivilized or that seem irrational or scary to yourself and to others, that those parts are there for a reason, and they should not be twisted and altered and chained up into something else. They just need to be understood for the capacity of what they have and respected that way, and then they can be seen and shown. So that'll be kind of towards the end of the month, is this like allowing that part to be seen, and then allowing its force and its energy, because there's so much strength in that deep primal vital life force that then can be conducted into what your goals and dreams are, without you then burning out and being exhausted and then having to rest all the time. This just tapping into that energy. So I'm going to leave it at that. It'll be interesting to see what it is that this is going to be bringing up for you, Aquarius. So this is going to be, might be pulling at things that are not your most comfortable strong suit, because we're working in areas that aren't just our sense of intellect and rationality, but this kind of challenging into a different way. But you can certainly work through that through the lens of thought and bring strategies, so you're not divorcing your mind from this, but it's all about integration here, if I've said that word enough. So I'll leave it at that. Have a wonderful July, Aquarius, and I will see you next month.